Hi, hello, it's me. It's Mifa. Hello. Okay. So, as you've known, if you've been here recently, I've been working on a eco brick bed in my yard. And I also have a pool that I don't like and I don't really use, and it got a hole, and so they had to take it down. And by they, I mean my folks. And so they took it down, and it's a pool. It's made of plastic, and we have a new one. We're gonna put it up, and so I, if you've been paying attention to my social media outside of this, are already aware, have been sitting out there in the middle of the night, all night, cutting up the pieces of the pool that we cannot use again, and eco bricking them so they don't end up in the trash. And in that, I have made like 6 or 7, maybe 8 eco bricks out of that. Just like the bottom. Which is insane. That I'm saying that I'm literally compacting these pieces of plastic that otherwise would 1000% end up in a landfill and break down from sun damage. It's just insane. And so we're gonna look at my collection of eco bricks from this week. And a little of last week. So we're gonna mic up Winnie, I swear to God. The cat's in here. She also keeps yelling at me, so. Ow. Ow. It's quite heavy. But that now has brought up my eco brick total from a little bit into the year. I've never eco bricked really before, to 31. 31. 31. Which is insane. And I am being a little extremist about it, to the degree of I'm quite literally not really letting plastic out of my house because I've just become so hyper fixated on it. So it's a little to the extreme. But it's 31. Okay? That's an adult person's age. Why? That's a great question. Just why? Because everything comes in plastic. Quite literally everything. And it's insane. And it costs more money for it not to come in plastic. If you haven't noticed that, you'll notice it in a lot of places. That's a thing. And so to you, people in my phone that like me, I beg of you, eco brick you damn shit. And you don't gotta do nothing with it. Hell, you can just throw it away. I don't care. I highly encourage you as a person though to make flower beds or fruit tree beds, or hell, make a shed or a house. It'd be a great way to fight back against a lot of people right now. But the world is ooh, how am I gonna say this? The world's on fire. And the longer we try to stop, what's going to happen, which is a depression, is the worse it's going to be when it hits. And I know a lot of people can't fully go on to just this insane strike right now because blah, 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 and I'm stupid if I think I can. The amount of fucking comments I've gotten every time I've opened my mouth and been like, if we don't do something drastic now, by the time that we are forced into it, things are going to be 10 times worse. It's almost like people don't look at the math or the history books or anything. I like these earrings. They go ding-a-ling. They don't really match my outfit though. I like my outfit. I've been really into mixing decades again. If you know anything about me or my fashion or my channel or my makeup or my hair or anything about me, you know I love to just go through the books of the fashion and be like, I like this top and I like this style of corset and I like your hair and I'm gonna take this and this and this. So I'm it's really hard to tell what time I'm from, which I find very enjoyable. I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream of one day, in like 1,000 years when we're all dead and I'm finally in the ground. People will be like, I wonder who she was. And I really want them to be really confused. And if the future's watching this, they're probably like, we're not confused. You confessed. I purposely want people to be confused if I'm from the 21st century or the 16th century. I want people to be just completely baffled when they see photos of me. I want them to be confused and I want them to be tickled because I think that's really funny, which is insane. So I'm sorry. But I would love if other people did this too because I think that's fun. Ooh, let me show you before we go outside. I'm teaching myself how to make corsets, and this is very fucked up. But look! I have ruffling on my boobs, and I have ruffling on my hips, and they're like slightly like pillowed because I sewed them funny, but I like it, so it doesn't matter. And it's quite cute. I'm gonna do little sleeves. So yeah, in the next clip, you will see me outside. Well, frankly, putting all those on the ground. I don't know if I'm gonna film this immediately because I'm kind of tired and I don't want to go outside by myself. What do we think of my makeup? I like my makeup. Hi everyone. Welcome. Is this on? Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to my yard. You're probably wondering, why is it so dark? And you're also probably wondering, why does it sound like she's whispering? It's 11 at night. This is how much I love y'all. We will be working on my eco brick bed, which I am in fact sitting behind, yet somehow it's out of frame. And then anyone worried about my knees, I do in fact have a knee pad. I do in fact recommend this knee pad. It's quite nice. For this, you're going to need a lot of eco bricks that are going to be very, very heavy, that you did construct from the bottom of your pool. You're also going to need to have a light made for grilling. My neighbor's dog's yelling at me. Everything's fine, dog. I don't know this dog. I also don't like that side very much. For this, you're going to need a grill light. Thank you to my parents for being crazy people and grilling in the middle of the night. You have now made a monster. You might be wondering, oh my god, how have you found the time to do this without triggering mass amounts of your anxiety? I've been doing it in the middle of the night. All night. In the middle of the night. I come out here with my phone and my headphones and a light and a pair of scissors and hope really hard no one comes into my yard thinking that I'm doing something bad and trying to kill me. That's how I've been doing this. My arms also look jacked compared to my body right now. Which, how do we feel about this dress? I think it's precious. On that note, we're going to take my one glove. We're also going to scoot you down so hopefully you can see more. For God's sake, you cannot see it. You are balanced on a box, balanced on a wagon that has a light that's magnetic to it. I'm wishing I did this during the daylight, is what I'm wishing. Because now I have to be out here without my music. Under a tree I spent a lot of time pruning today. Seriously, me and my mom spent like several hours this morning pruning this fucking tree. Oh, you might be able to see my tomatoes, which look sad because I had to pull them apart from each other because they were growing into a cult and I had to replant behind me in the ground because I didn't have enough pots. Let's move you. Hey, you can see it now. Okay. For this project, you're going to need a truly absurd amount of eco bricks and you're going to need a bag of sand, and then if you live in a place like I do, this is only like half of it. If you live in a place like I do, you already have clay. So do the thing that I've been telling you guys and dig holes and bury the leaves to help with that. But if you find clay, take small portions, like you're cutting a sample out of the earth, and put them in a bucket. That's what I've been doing. Sometimes I notice my missing button. There's a missing button right here. I don't know where it went. I think the washing machine ate it. That makes me sad. Before this, you're gonna wanna see how many of these damn things you're gonna need before you essentially glue them into the ground. For this project, I'm using black clay. I personally really like black clay. Ugh, I gotta stand up. You don't have to use black clay. I would suggest you use black clay. Damn it, I was put to glue you. I also would like everyone to also think this is quite funny. I don't use creamer. I'm not a disgusting person. God damn it. I'm not saying if you use creamer, you're gross. I'm saying I don't like it and I think it's gross. Now I have an eco brick that will fit perfectly vertically right there, and it's just not done. It's just not done. And it's just not done because frankly, I got tired. Ow. How's y'all's day? I hope it was swell. I fell asleep in my makeup with my window open for the first time in a while, and I did in fact wake up to be in a panic. This is my bucket. I mixed it up earlier and I put extra water in it, so hopefully now when I mix it up again, it's fine. This is a glove that will be eco-bricked with the rest of the eco-bricks. Can my hair get out my face? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is fine. For the consistency you want of your clay and sand with some water is gonna be this. You're gonna want a thick concrete, essentially. And you're just gonna put it wherever it goes, wherever you think it goes, wherever you believe it deserves to be. I'm a little scared that everyone is gonna come out of their homes and start screaming at me for talking out loud in the middle of the night. But I would really like it if my neighbors didn't do that. I know none of them watch me, but I'd really like if none of them did that. Because if they do that, I'm gonna cry. I've lived here my whole life. I know no other life. Leave me alone. I had a conversation with my mom today. Guess what that was about? Avery, you're a depressing person. I know. How do you live with yourself? I don't know. All day, every day. Things, where is it? You know, that's the problem with doing things in the dark. You can't find things. Did it get buried? Is it? Yeah, it's this. Basically the conversation was a lot of, you're depressing. And I went, I know. And she went, how do you live with yourself all day? And I was like, I don't know. Apparently, years of professionals telling everyone I've ever met that something is wrong and I am overly depressing for a 19-year-old wasn't enough information. And yeah, I could go through all the things and get on the anti-sex and do all the other things, but frankly, if I have to do that again, I'm gonna hyperventilate into a crying ball of panic, because the last time they just made me really fucking sleepy and went, well, if she's sleepy, she can't do anything rash. So never again. Never again. I would rather let the thoughts win and get myself killed than do that again, which isn't a good thing. Okay? That's not a good thing. Don't do that. That is inherently against everything every person I've ever met who has had any sort of disorder or problem has told me. Granted, they have all also told me, Avery, you're bipolar. And I choose to not believe them. Because you're not a professional. You just have bipolar. Which, you know, if like 10 plus people are telling you probably have a disorder, they have. You probably have it. But I'm not doing that. I choose not to. No hate to anyone that has, you know, that type of not crutch. Inhibit obstacle. Obstacle is the word I was looking for. In their life. No hate to you. Yes, if I get diagnosed and they put me on the meds again, I'm gonna cry so much and not happy tears. It's gonna be they're trying to kill me tears. Because last time it seemed kind of like they were gonna kill me. I'll never forget that. Fucking at the start of this channel, right? When I was 16, they had me on a shit ton of meds, and one of those meds is used to treat bipolar disorder. And I had mentioned previously, hey, everyone I've ever met that has bipolar disorder tells me I probably have bipolar disorder. And I was advocating for myself because I was like, I don't like how I feel. Um, and I basically gave them the whole spiel of like, I don't super know if I have it, but I'm not a doctor. And they basically looked me in my fucking face and went, you're a 15-year-old girl. We're not testing you for that. And now I'm a 19-year-old girl who refuses to get tested for that. So I wonder how the fuck that happened. I think the place I went to straight up like lost their licensing like a year after I went there. I don't know if they're still up. I know like their affiliate got in trouble. Like their affiliate company, like their sister company, I know they got in trouble. I don't know if they did. I would assume so, considering I was a 15-year-old girl, and they basically said, we're not going to put you with the other people your age. We're going to put you with people that are like 3 years younger than you. And even though we do, in fact, have a whole nother demographic, and the reason we're doing that is we're not going to tell you. Seriously, I remember being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why am I not allowed with the big kids, essentially? And, oh, this is a fun conversation we're having in the middle of the night outside near my neighbor's house. And I never said it because, I was on a bunch of meds and I was really tired. And I remember so blatantly, you got in so much trouble if you slept. To the point of they had chairs specifically so uncomfortable that you were incapable of sleeping in them. And every day after they put me on the bipolar medication and I think it was an anti-psych medication, like an antipsychotic. After they put me on those, I slept probably 14 hours a day for the next year. Like I could not, for the life of me, keep my head upright. And I chopped off all my hair. And I got back in my relationship with that abusive fuck. And just I did so many just like awful, harmful things to me. But I was on anti-bipolar medication. And so if I ever get in trouble for anything at that time, I'm going to be like, I try to get help. I try to call for help. I tried to do all these things. And no one helped me. No one came to my rescue. And I was scared. I remember, I'm going to cry. I remember being so scared in my head, but incapable to put together the words, I am scared. Because I felt like something was very wrong, but I could not, my nervous system, my brain, could not, at any point, remember the words, I am not okay, I'm really scared. And it took me, I think, 2 years to get all the meds out of my system, which is batshit insane. If you are on so many drugs, at any age for anything, even if it's working for you, and it takes you the amount of time that it takes a woman postpartum to feel normal again, something is drastically wrong. and I hated it. The only medication I liked was a drug called hydroxyzine. And that was the only medication that ever caused me a problem. But what happened was I have a really high immune system. I have really high metabolism. And so what would happen was hydroxyzine is an anti-anxiety med, right? And I took it for a while, and then I would develop like a wall quicker than I should, I guess. So instead of like rounding me down from it, they'd up my dose, which would send me into a panic attack because it would be so much of the drug in my system so abruptly, it would like send me into a panic. Because I'd be like, I'm gonna die. Like outwardly, like I would take it, and my first thought would be, I'm gonna drop dead. Like it was bad, and I also found out after the fact that the drug hydroxyzine apparently can send you into a miscarriage. Didn't know that. Nobody told me that. Which is insane, because if that's one of the side effects your fucking drug does, which is essentially working as a birth control, which I'm thankful for, I guess, you should tell your customers. You should tell them. But yeah, I liked that medication. I was on a bunch of other stuff that I can't really super remember great. How did we get on this topic? I don't know really. But it's important to talk about, because as much as it frankly upsets me deeply, people go through that. It's something that happens. I should not have been put through that. People should have noticed. People didn't. But my whole life, it's just a lot of people should have noticed and they didn't. So I'm not that fazed by it, but like it's also like that was an insane time of my life when I started making videos, and you can see it. I look like a lot of my very first videos on this entire channel is I look like a drug addict. I look like I'm on fucking crack. I don't look healthy. I don't look okay. Like I truly, I can't really look back at videos from that time because it's such a contradictive, like awful feeling. Because that's the only time in my entire life I have been a healthy weight, which was a side effect of everything I was on. And I was 20 pounds, 115, something like that. But I look like a junkie. I look like I have a problem. And the fact people did not point it out upsets me about our society so incredibly much. I was so exhausted all of the time. I could not keep my head up on my shoulders. And of course, they did not really see a problem with that, because if I could keep my head up on my shoulders for, I guess, 3 hours out of the day, it's whatever. And of course, I just thought, whatever. I could not, at the time. What in hell? Well, that's really fucking weird. Why can't I go in my house? Because I'm not getting wrapped up in where the fuck that is. Hi, we're back. That was all. quite odd. So now, for the sake of respect of everyone, we're going to not talk about drugs, and we're going to talk about the importance of the eco brick. Because I am worried. Things like the eco brick contain things like small pieces of plastic into a vicinity where it cannot be moved. What does that mean? It means it can't break down in the sun or wherever, get in other things, get in the air, get in the waterways, get into everything else, and you. Okay, because as weird as it is that I'm taking all my plastic and I'm covering it in a sandy clay thing, it is so much weirder that us as a human race at this point. My cat just jumped in the window to watch me. It is so much weirder now as a human race that we cannot, for the life of us, find people that don't have plastic in their bodies. And as much as I can encourage people to grow their own food and to self-pollinate their own stuff and to make their own teas and grow their own fruit and do all these things. I am not a complete idiot. I am more than aware that is not an ability for a lot of people. Maybe you're disabled. I don't know. Maybe you live in the middle of a shitty city. I don't know. What I do know is to some degree we all are able to do something. Even if it's as stupid and odd as an eco brick. Now, I would highly encourage you to start making them, especially considering everything in the world right now. The dollar is losing worth by the day. No one can afford anything. Food is stupid. Anything that can save your life is stupid. Everything going on in the entire world right now is stupid. And frankly, every day I wake up like most people, and by day I mean afternoon. I wake up like most people and go, oh no. I actively go, oh no. To everything and everyone happening in the world of modern America and Canada and Mexico and everywhere else. When I tell you that I spend 90% of my life trying desperately to know everything bad happening everywhere so that I can be as informed and as helpful as humanly possible, and the fact that it sends me into a full-blown panicking, anxiety-induced, hyperventilating, I can't fix everything attack. I tell you, quite literally, that happens every day. And I could pretend like none of what's happening is happening. And I could just be stupid. But I don't want to be, because frankly, that's not good for anyone. That's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to people that need help. It's not beneficial to anyone, anywhere, about anywhere. It only makes you feel better because you get to play ignorant. You quite literally are conforming to this idea of weaponized incompetence. And what does that mean? It means quite literally that you are okay being completely dependent on everyone but you. And that's not okay. Like, for example, I have some dependency, but I also know tomorrow, if the end of the world happens, I can still filter my own water and grow my own food, and if my house is gone, build a nice shelter for me, my cat, my mommy, my dad, and the rest of my family. Now, am I going to be upset that I have to do all these things? Yeah. Am I going to complain? No shit, Sherlock. But is it so incredibly important that I know how to do all these things, and so incredibly important that you, no matter gender, race, identity, age, anything, also know how to do these things. Oh, it's so fucking important considering everything bad happening in the world right now. For example, I live in a state where if it gets cold, our power grid freaks out. You know why? Because we were once our own country, and now we are not. And as much as I can argue that I think we should go back to Mexico, because clearly places aren't treating us nicely, a lot of people who also live here think that's insane. And to that I say, have you not paid attention to history class at all? Quite literally every time that we fucked ourselves over horrifically, you know who picked us up and dusted us off and told us everything was going to be okay? Mexico! Now, I've complained about this a lot because it baffles me how much people just don't acknowledge the fact that Texas would not be Texas in standing without Mexico. That's insane that people just don't know that. I highly suggest that you look up and look into basically every time Texas said, I can't do that. And I bet you, um, damn it, a million, thousand, trillion, $1 billion, and 99% of the time, you know who came to our aid? Mexico. That might make a lot of you mad. I don't care. I need another brick. Oh, my feet are asleep. So I am sorry if you don't like the idea of us going back to Mexico. But I'm sorry, we saved our ass every damn time we fucked up Mexico. And frankly, I think they deserve some help right now, but the people in charge don't. And now you're gonna be in charge and be like, actually, the place that helped us all those times that we messed up doesn't need our help, even though, you know, stuff is happening and it's bad. Like, that's insane. That's inherently nuts. To be like, yeah, you helped us a bunch of times and our ancestors, and we were, when we were like, we actually don't think we can be our own state, you saved us and helped us, and then we stabbed you in the back a bunch of times, like so many times. So then look at the same country that has helped us repeatedly and be like, actually, I don't want to like help you, is stupid. It's inherently dumb. It makes you a little dumb. It makes whatever the fuck you're doing a little dumb. And frankly, shut up. You know what? Some guy somewhere is gonna be like, well, actually, it wasn't that cut and clean, and blah, 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 blah. Is anything ever cut and clean? Is anything ever one person's bad, one person's good? Is any of that any inherent reason to then be mad at a place that has helped you so much that you then treat their citizens like crap, and that you then treat their ancestors like crap, and that you then treat everyone like crap. Making sure my mic is on because I'm not dubbing over all this shit. The fact of the matter is, sure, not everyone was a happy, perfect party in that. But you know what else? You know who did worse? A place called America. Ugh. Stay. Ugh. Stay where I put you. I know you're a circle and it's a square. Stay though. Ugh. Getting increasingly upset. More things are happening over there. Okay. Go away. Oh, it's so much later now. There you go. Ugh. You know, I don't cut my frustrations out of my videos because I think that'd be lying to you guys. I think that'd be lying on so many levels. Like, look at me, it's so easy, everything's so easy, life is la da 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 da. And it's not. And I think it'd be lying on so many levels, so I don't. And sometimes I wish I do. Sometimes I wish I did, and I don't. Stop falling! For God's sake, stop falling. This would be so much easier if I was just using my hands and I'm not. You know why? Because, frankly, I'm tired of my hands being gross. I feel like constantly I'm just covered in, like, dirt and dust, and I just look faintly dirty, like 90% of the time. And I think it makes people think I'm dirty all of the time. And I'm not. I promise, for God's sake, I promise I'm not this dirty. all of the time. I promise I take showers. I promise. I sit there and I exfoliate every part of my body every time I shower. I promise. It's just I'm so pale, and when I get color, I look dusty, and it's bad. That's an actual problem in my life. I can't get color, even though I tan incredibly easily because I look dusty. It's not that I look burnt. It's not that I look red. I look like I have dust on me. Oh, ever loving fucking fuck you. You know what? I charged you. I did. I don't know why we're now dying. Like I didn't. Ugh, fuck you. Okay, I still have some light, so I need this last bottle. We're gonna put more clay in that. And then we're gonna put sand, water, and all the other things. So how y'all's day going now that we're in the dark? For God's sake. Ugh. I charged it. I know I did. I straight up know I did. There's no arguing it. Jesus Christ, these are clumpy. So the fact that it's now dead is incredibly agitating to me. For God's sake, where is it? Where'd it go? There it is. Just casually in the dark. My mom was like, there was a coyote in the yard like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, no one told me this. And of course, nobody told me this. And you know something? I probably saw it and went, oh, I'm just imagining things. Like, I live out. Like, I live far. We live in Coyote Land. I know this. And they're like, no one's like, I don't like you being outside at all hours of the night. There's been a coyote in the backyard in the last 3 weeks. I'm not making fun of her. Her concern's very valid. I'm just making fun of the fact that there was a coyote in the backyard at some point recently, probably near my window, very near my window. You know where my head is? Where I sleep like this? Me, 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 me. Eyes. Nicholas Kent. And that's all I dream about is me, me, me. And the fucker that voices Leonardo. That's all I dream about. And oh, and I have nightmares. I have nightmares every single night of my life. And I'm saying that after I said the Nicholas thing because I don't want to be made fun of. I have nightmares every single night, and I've had nightmares damn near every single night since I was a young child. And sometimes I have nightmares of things I'm not even scared of, but for some damn reason I'm scared in the nightmare. For example, I had a nightmare about Kiss. It kept coming back. I'm not scared of Kiss to any degree. I quite like Kiss. I don't know why I get having a nightmare about them. And it was a nightmare about their Scooby-Doo movie. And I don't get why that was happening, but it's hysterical because I'm. Hi. And in the sake of the environment. Fuck. Okay. In the sake of environment. Oh, god damn it. I have a bunch of. Damn it. I have a bunch of eco bricks. And that. Ugh, that's the bottom of my old pool. I don't like pools. I think they're gross. But do you know what this is? Plastic. We don't want that about, and it'd be easier to eco brick it up than throw it away. So I'm gonna do that out here now. It's on top of a kiddie pool. Look at that sunflower. Look at that pile. Look at that cactus. Look. Isn't that pretty? Look at all my things. Look how open my yard is without. I wish it would stay like that, but I don't get a choice in the matter because I live here for free. But yeah, so now we're gonna try eco brick this. I might run out of eco bricks to eco brick it into, which would be annoying but so great. Hi. Since my phone died, not my phone, I ran out of storage. This is all my progress. That's how tall it is. These are going to be little towers and they're going to hold plants. And then these are going to hold other things. We're now going to clean up so I don't trip on this tomorrow morning when the sun comes out. And we're going to go in my house. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to look at my course. On that note, ow. I love you all. I hope you all have an amazing night, amazing day, amazing where the fuck it is where you are. I love you all. Jesus Christ, this hurts. Be good people, do good things. Fucking get an earth tattooed on your arm. I have one. Oh. Recycle. Be good people, recycle. I love you. Bye.